Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Look, we have a country we're borrowing, what, $48,000 every second. And you'll actually hear both sides care. One side believes in subsidization, one side believes in incentives. But we're all in many ways trying to get to the same goal. And forgive me, but in listening, did anyone actually hear the obvious, at least one of the key obvious problems? I have, functionally 4 over here saying you're desperate to find labor. People that will show up and work, and someone that's concerned about poverty. I was just looking up some of the data for your state, but it's true in my state of Arizona. And it's uncomfortable to talk about, but we're going to have to deal with it. Young males are dramatically underperforming showing up in the economy. Something is going on out there where they're entering universities in similar numbers and graduating in many universities at half the rate. Or they're just not showing up at work. What's honestly going on in our society? And for those of you in the oil patch, in the meat processing, let's be honest, you don't need someone with a university degree, you just need someone that shows up. If I have millions and millions of young males who somehow have disappeared in our economy in the last couple of years, what's going on? Mr. Jackson, when your observation, I know you're in a smaller community, I represent an urban-suburban district. We have fentanyl out of control. We have other things. What's happening in your communities? Why this disparity of, we have jobs, I don't have labor, but I also have data that says I have a substantial number of these young males not showing up. What's going on?
From my perspective, I think a lot of it has to do with people are today thinking more about what they can get instead of what they can give. And I think we as Americans need to be reminded of what built this country was people's desire to be free from tyranny. And so we have to show up to work. We have to roll up our sleeves and put the work in.
Okay,
to
so
make things better.
you see a societal issue?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
I agree, and I think it all started with participation trophies. Everybody.
Hey, sometimes that's the only way I got a trophy.
Yeah, everybody's a winner. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm sorry. There's winners and losers, and it's okay to lose. I've lost. In business, you lose all the time. I don't get every order I quote. Oh, okay, well, we move on to the next one. And, you just don't take it personal. But that's where it started. It's a society change. And it all starts from home. And some of this, like I said, could actually work through the school system for us. If we could get, I think, business engaged in helping these kids, really find their purpose.
Look, we were in West Virginia a couple weeks ago, and we've also been digging into some of the data in my Phoenix area. And we have a genuine problem with a number of young people, substance abuse, other things going on. I don't know if that's permeated through this part of the country. This is a moral imperative. You have a society that needs people, but then people aren't showing up. Ms. Payne, any theories?
Representative, I think more kids ought to be forced to haul hay during the hot summer.
Yeah. When we walked through the stables back there, I spent my childhood shoveling horse stalls. I can smell that ammonia a mile away, and yeah, I'm still doing it. How about in the oil patch? What do you see?
We see a lot of the same thing. It is difficult to find workers. We had essentially what we call the great crew change or the great retirement. So a lot of our workers got to ages where when the oil patch slowed during the pandemic, they were out of work and said, well, we're just taking early retirement. They were forced to take early retirement. In the past, those workers were replaced by the new crop. Well, we don't have That number.
Will we have the baby boomers are retiring?
The baby boomers are retiring. We don't have as many coming up, but in the past history of our country, we brought in immigrants on a legal basis, gave them a work visa. I mean, we built this country with immigrants. My grandparents were immigrants from Italy. We need to do more of this. Let's not bring fentanyl across the border. Let's bring in people legally who want to work.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for tolerating me.